is the gas meter. It's nice, the pot's off the ground. This is your main shutoff valve to the house. And personally, I like to see two, but just one's required right there. You can use a wrench on that, but you shouldn't use a wrench on all your other water shutoffs, but that's acceptable for the gas. We're at the northwest corner of the property on the west side of the driveway. And then coming over here, this is how the gas enters the house. Excuse me, we've got a separate shutoff valve. Look at there. There's our main shutoff valve. I'm talking too fast. Parallel is on, perpendicular is off. This has got the plastic wrap on it, but the plastic wrap's giving it up. This should be all painted to keep it from rusting like this. If it keeps rusting like this, it's going to leak. These are the water heater. It's okay, the white drains, those are for the safety pans. They can be 24 inches off the ground. These are for the water heaters, and they should not be further away from the ground than 6 inches. This is the electrical video. It's not the gas video. Lawn sprinkler. The control wire conduit is broken. Water can get in there. But I was going to talk a little more heavy duty than that. This is the meter. It's on the garage west exterior wall. Power comes in below grade. This is your power supply conduit. And as the home is moved, as the yard is moved, as things have moved, it's become disconnected. And water can get in there. Wind-blown rain can get into your electrical system. So that's not really a good thing. This box should be sealed on 3 sides, like those 2 boxes should be sealed on 3 sides. This is our grounding rod. They're 8 feet long, supposedly. And they are not supposed to be buried 7 foot 6 inches. They're supposed to be buried their entire 8 feet. How's that look? Everything tight? Okay. And we got, now this is kind of interesting, we got 2 cabinets coming in here. It's a 2 cabinet system. So we got 2 main neutrals coming in here, 2, and grounds, excuse me, 2 main grounds, not the neutral. And they're attached to 1 pipe, which is okay. 1 grounding rod, but by today's standards you're supposed to have 2 grounding rods, both of them within 6 feet of each other, and so we don't have that. Our grounding rod's not properly buried, our box is not properly sealed, and our power supply conduit has become disconnected. Moving inside of here, inside of the garage, got some limitations. We have those every once in a while. See this cabinet? This built-in cabinet? See this cabinet? See these screws that hold the cabinet on? See the screws on? No screws on the other side. We can't get to those. We can't open this cabinet. We're going to be, left with making an assumption. This is the same model cabinet as this. And the same electricians installed them. So it'd be reasonable to assume that a lot, if not most, of the issues inside of this cabinet are inside of this cabinet. Alright? So let's just start from the outside and work our way in. This is called handwriting. This is called printing, where it says key load center cover, okay, danger. It's called printing. Code and the manufacturer thinks that this should all be printed, not hand labeled. Not hand labeled. They're both 200 amp cabinets, is that right? Yes. Now these right here are called stackable breakers. That's the good name for them. Some people call them cheaters, and cheaters are allowed. We can come over inside of this cabinet because we can't get inside of this one, but they're identical. We get over here and we read the schedule inside of here and see that stackable breakers are allowed. But the notes on here, okay, because this is your main connection, the notes say that the stackables should be at the bottom of the cabinet. These breakers should be moved to the top of the cabinet. Stackable breakers closest to the main disconnect. Our stackable breakers, same thing with this one. That stackable breaker is in the wrong place. Should have been, I didn't make the rules. That's not me. I'm not a rule maker. Which is ironic, is because obviously they had room. Okay, that's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, same. There's room. Look at all that space. They didn't have to use stackable breakers. So the options are, to correct this deficiency, according to the manufacturer, is to either move the stackables down or just install regular breakers. Yeah, not that hard. Now let's come on in. This is called bundling. This big hole right here, this is for L1 and L2. We put them at different places because we didn't know where these cabinets want to go. See all these small holes, these are small knockouts? Those are for these. It was quicker for the electrician to do that. It's called bundling. And even the reference inside of my inspection report, your inspection report, the report I'm writing for you, okay, the reference is somewhat apologetic. You know, it says, oh, they're a lot like that, you know, and that's true. That's true. But when it comes time to replace these cabinets, we might want to think about, you know, wiring it up right. That'd be a novel idea. Okay, these cables, L1 and L2, you're supposed to have protective, non-conducive covers on them, because these are the mains. All right, I'm sure this one doesn't have it as well. Coming alongside of here, we got paint and debris inside the cabinet. I'm pretty sure we have paint and debris inside of that cabinet as well. Debris over here, you're stuck in your grounding wires and stuff. That's not good. That's not good. Can we fix that? No extra I can't even fix it. There we go. That saved me a little bit of writing. Okay, now ground wires, it's okay, you can double them. You shouldn't triple them, but we're just double them because the only time electricity comes through here, supposed to come through here, is during an emergency. But these white ones, these are called neutrals, and they're hot all the time. I mean, not all the time, but like anytime you turn the light on, then that circuit, then this comes hot. Turn the light off, this comes, these are always hot, unless, you know. And then when you turn the different appliances on, these become hot. And your neutrals are not supposed to be double lugged. This is called double lugging. 2 wires on 1 screw. 2 wires on 1 screw. These are not supposed to be double lugged. These are not supposed to be double lugged. Now, wires are not supposed to be in contact with the cabinet. Okay? And the cabinet cover. That's why they put these bumpers here. You know why they put these bumpers here? Because the manufacturer had this wild idea that all the wires should be in this cabinet behind these bumpers. That's called a guide. It's called a guide. They're not supposed to be in touch with the cabinet cover like that. They're not. Our neutral's wrapped. That's a good thing. We already talked about not having the conductive covers. We got white hots. These are white hots coming in here. If you don't know that's hot, you don't belong in this cabinet. You don't belong in this box if you don't know that's hot. But they're supposed to be just like you don't belong in this cabinet, you don't belong in this box if you don't know that's the main neutral. But it's there as a safety precaution so that any uninformed fool can work on that. You know, he looks at it and he sees it and he gets what's called a clue. We should have black tape on this. You don't know it's hot, you don't belong in this cabinet. You should have black tape on that. So what do we learn? We learned we got stackables that are not properly oriented. We learned that we got bundling. We learned that we got paint inside the cabinet. We learned that we got debris inside of the cabinet. We learned that our stackables are in the wrong orientation inside of the cabinet. We learned that we got white hots that are wrapped with black. We learned that our neutral's not wrapped. We do not have a conducive cover. Surely that's all, bud. No, it's not all. I'm getting carried away. I'm just getting started. Excuse me. Wires stuck to the cabinet cover. These are called drywall screws. Drywall screws break and snap. Okay, we need better fasteners than drywall screws holding this cabinet in. If this home experiences a tornado or something, I get that. We've already got a problem. You know, it's a garage blowed up. I get that. Everybody. But at least it would stay, you know, if it was better fastened, it wouldn't just pop out like a pimple, you know. So there's that. And we're missing a screw, missing a panel screw. We have gaps in our panel larger than 1/8 of an inch. Alright, there's a fire inside this cabinet. It can go between that gap. Here's where the cabinet cover goes to. The cover is supposed to go to this. It's not supposed to go to that. Okay, so if there's a meltdown in this cabinet, there's nothing to keep it from crawling on out. So that's what we learned. We learned we got insufficient access to the left cabinet. We learned that we got double lug neutrals. We learned that we got bundling. We learned that we got gaps. We learned that we got paint in the cabinet. We learned that we got debris in the cabinet. We learned the cabinet wasn't properly screwed in. We learned that our neutrals are double lugged. Our white hots are not wrapped with black tape. L1 and L2.